started behind super senior Gabby Gregory. 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field. Put it on the floor. She was 2 of 2 from the line. Offensive rebounds get you scores and extra possession. 6 offensive rebounds in that first half for Kansas State. And better ball movement in the second quarter got this Wildcat team off a skip pass scores, and it also got them layups. Whether it was a 3 or a skip pass, and inside to Ioka Lee, you got to feed the 6'6" center and get her the touches. She had 11 points, 4 of 4 from the field. And Taryn Sides, the freshman guard, has seen big minutes here against Southern tonight, and she's done it in multiple ways. On the break as a passer, and also in the half court as a scorer. One-on-one, reading the defense, and able to split the Southern for a bank shot and a score. And her backcourt mate, redshirt freshman Ziana Walker. 5 assists in that first 20 minutes, and it makes it easy when you can feed a player like Ioka Lee in the post. Kansas State up big 49-15 against Southern here at Bramlage Coliseum.
Lee, as you said, the only player in double figures with 11 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a blocked shot. For the reigning queen of double-doubles here at K-State, with passing Kendra Wecker, only fitting that that number now is 53, which is the number that Wecker used to wear when she was here. It now hangs from the jerseys. That number, 50, for Lee, will be hanging there at some point as well. All right, keys to victory from the outset. These change at all? Or are you good with what you got so far?
I think if you're Southern, you've got to stay with what you have done all season, which is to apply pressure to teams. And we saw the Wildcats struggle in the half court and even a little bit, maybe three-quarter court possessions as well, as that they just didn't handle that. And you got to be confident. We saw so many times that they did get a missed shot or a defensive rebound. They got a turnover but could not convert on the other end. You got to be able to just step up and make some open looks. For this K-State team, the focus for 40 now, you break it down to 20. They got to continue to stay focused here. This is the last run before the break. You do not want to give your coaches any field of fodder where they don't feel like you gave them 100% before you go. And also this balance sheet, and we mentioned it right at the start of the halftime, Brian, is to be able to see multiple people score the basketball, multiple people rebound, you distribute your assist numbers. All of those things are a good thing. This Kansas State team has to have balance as they think about heading into Big 12 play. Multiple people being involved in all aspects of the game.
9 different people have scored so far for K-State, and 4 of them with 5, or 5 of them with 5 points or more. Get ready for the start of the second half. Is that the sprinkler? Is that what we're seeing right there? Or maybe it's a sprinkle. Check and make sure we haven't sprinkled. I don't know. Am I allowed to say that? I just did. Third quarter will begin with Southern with the basketball.
I think it's important to see how both of these teams come out maybe the first 2 to 3 minutes of this half. We know Southern has to be feeling down the fact that they had so many looks that they couldn't get to go. And Kansas State, you got to keep your foot on the gas. You have to stick with what worked. And that is ultimately being aggressive offensively, but then being very solid defensively. They get the turnover there to start the second half.
The turnovers really haven't been too big of an issue for Southern. 7 in the game. But ill-advised, certainly no time right there. As much struggles as they've had offensively. Lee, turnaround shot off the back iron.
It's one of those ones we've seen her make in other games throughout the course of the season, kind of an add-in to her game. Knowing that not everything's going to be able to be a lob and a direct move to the bucket, that fadeaway can be very, very dangerous as you think about Big 12 teams, where she's going to see more size. You're going to continue to see double, triple teams. People are going to be all hands on deck trying to get that ball away from her when she brings it down. You keep it high, you make a strong move. The fadeaway is a tough shot because all of your momentum is going the opposite direction. That could be a huge boost for these offensive numbers.
Sanaya Reed, her first basket of the game. Slidell, Louisiana. Gregory looking for Lee. Lob comes from the other corner this time, and again, Lee scores. I think we've broken down this play now 3 different times, and K-State has just continued to run it, skip pass from one corner to the other.
And it's movement, and it is the movement by Lee. Is that she isn't moving on the catch, she's moving on the pass. And so that puts the defense back on their heels. They're out of position. Your help side's late, and it's an easy opportunity for her to score.
Gregory thought about a dribble drive. And a whistle underneath as Lee and I think Castro were mixed up. Lee tried to post, and that'll be the 4th on Castro.
One of the issues that has plagued Southern throughout the course of the season is foul trouble. But Carlos Funches knows his team. They're going to be aggressive and just trying to apply as much pressure, trying to meet Ioka Lee early. And it's just kind of a tough call. Maybe could have been a no call going the other direction, but that is the 4th on Castro.
Once she hit the ground, again, one of the other focuses this year is on flopping or any sort of going to the ground. And so whether Castro intended for it to look more egregious than it was, that was the whistle and the stoppage there. Zach Ross is going to stop play for a minute here as Fontado may have taken a shot to the face.
Yep, looks like it's overly, and when you get hit in the nose area, whether it starts to bleed or not, your eyes water, and it is the worst feeling. And so if you can never get it to stop.
Early roll doesn't go in. Lee gets another rebound. 21 for Lee in the last game. That was a career high, one off a school record. Bob going for Lee again. She'll turn and score.
It's her ability to be able to catch and finish and not even bring that basketball down. If only young players would watch just time in and time out. Would love to be able to drill young boys and girls. Keep the ball high, don't bring it down to the defense, and finish at the rim.
Especially, as you said, when playing smaller opponents, to steal out high as it goes through the hands of Lidge. Gregory wanted to get Lidge in the air, now gets pinned. Crowd wanted Lee to take a 3. Glenn will instead do the honors. Southern the rebound. Gregory with a near steal. Lee has never taken a 3 in her career. Too many steps there for Reed.
Yeah, not really a big piece of her game.
But going back to what you said before about size, know your role.
Yep, you got that
Lee
right.
knows exactly her role. Too many times you'll see in this modern era of basketball, you'll see bigs trying to shoot that 3-pointer because that's what's going to get you at the next level. Riley Glenn.
And I think it is absolutely true, and it's a point of emphasis. And we see, even the WNBA, you see it in the next level of the men's game, is that is a weapon of which post players have. And it is, you've kind of gone to positionless basketball. But when you have a true post player within your system, no reason to try to make something that it isn't.
Glenn may have gotten away with a foul there. She hit the hand of the 3-pointer attempt from Williams, got away with it, and Fontenot's mark or shot is way off the mark. There's 4 points scored in that second quarter by Southern, and Ioka Lee is doing all the damage here in the third.
And fantastic recognition by Riley Glenn not to take the 3 from the corner. It would have been guarded a low percentage look, but instead wait for her to get position and feed the post each and every time.
Chopped up Riley Glenn here in the last few games. It's been a really strong last 2 weeks here for Glenn. Somewhat less heralded junior twin of the Glenn twins, since Jalen gets a lot of the publicity because she's more of a scorer than Riley, but Riley has really played very well both ends of the court.
Well, what you're looking for, and we see it, we talked about it with the freshman, understanding your role, right? Even as a returner, as someone who's put in multiple years as a junior, you got to play within yourself and not try to do too much. And I think that's where this K-State offense has had their success, and we know they're hanging their hat on their defense, and everyone has been a big piece of that.
Lee's going to get called for an offensive foul. Tried to back tap it and slapped down and caught one of the Southern players, missing an easy putback inside. Sides Sanchez will return for K-State, who have this game in command, trying to cruise control it here the rest of the way. Well, Jeff Biddy would not want us to say that. Again, he would not want us to. He would not hear of cruise control. He wants to, again, pursuit of that perfection each time.
But I think it's also your ability to be able to use some different looks and lineups, and that's one thing where your focus has to come into play here for this next 5 minutes of the third and into the fourth quarter, as each and every one of these players has to stay dialed in. They may not necessarily play their natural position for a few possessions tonight here late. You got to be able to handle that and be ready to go.
Sanchez sides. Sanchez scores.
That's the mid-range game of Gisela Sanchez. It does not need to necessarily be a three-point shooter, but step in and use that mid-range jumper where you can elevate over the defense and be an outlet when people get stuck.
Timeout by Carlos Funches. It'll be the first of 2 dead ball timeouts for us. We'll take this one here with Aoka Lee taking charge in the Little Apple, putting on a show for the home crowd.
Live sports.
Championship on the line.
All Wildcats here in Bramlage as they close out the non-conference part of their schedule, trying to get to 12-1 of the season, win their 6th straight game, and then turn their attention to Big 12 play. Well, they'll have 3 newcomers to begin conference play: Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF right from the get-go before they'll see familiar faces.
Different looks, and keep in mind Cincinnati, a new coaching staff, so you got to kind of go deeper into the scout. Katrina Merriweather back coaching her alma mater at Cincinnati, where she played and graduated from, but had previously been at Memphis prior to taking the job in the new look Big 12.
Johnson able to get a basket, 6 points in her second game back. With a lift, she could be as 7 looks towards SWAC play. They'll get one more Big 12 opponent in Oklahoma coming up this week. And they start conference play after that with Texas Southern, first part of January. And a whistle as we get, there was a player down on the other end. And that'll send us to a timeout. Culture of accountability. Sophie Smith has more of that for K-State when we return.
Live.
Welcome back to Big 12 Now on ESPN+. I'm Sophie Smith. When asked about if he feels like his players are taking ownership of this program and making sure that the culture and the standard is being passed on to these younger players, Jeff Minnie said that when they're holding each other accountable in practice and in games, that's when they're going to have something special. He continued to say that he can do it, but when you want to work at a championship level, you have to keep doing the little things that are going to get you there.
It feels like that is echoing exactly what you have been saying this entirety of the game as the state tries to accountable, right? On both ends of the court.
You have to be, and that's the focus, and that's being dialed in. It's people understanding what their roles are, playing within themselves. I mean, those are all the accountable factors that coaches talk about. You know, we could all sit in on a practice each and every day. Those are things you would hear, but they also have to take it to heart, and they have to continue to also work together. I think one team you can find out of teams that have success throughout the course of the season from start to finish is that they work together as a unit and that you have to play together. There is no I in team, and not one player can carry the load. That's how you win ball games.
Harris a little bit too much body up on the drive by Gordine. He's been going pretty young right here. They've got 4 freshmen on the court. And Greer, the redshirt junior.
And I think we'll continue to see different looks and lineups here for the next 3 minutes, a little less than 3 minutes of this third quarter into the fourth. But that's a good thing. You're going to get some solid minutes and some solid reps for these players who haven't necessarily had as many over the course of the beginning of the season. Yes, Kansas State's played 12 games, but you start looking at the numbers and what people have averaged per game, it kind of evens out because of the competition. This 3 games and 5-day stretch here before the break, very important to get those reps and those minutes.
Side settles it down after some full court man pressure. Walker pulls up and drains it.
That's the one thing I really like about Diana Walker's game is that mid-range jumper, and she has a lot of confidence in that shot as well. Not afraid to step inside that three-point line where we see people get stuck, where they think I got to live and die by the three, and you don't have to. Mid-range game, almost a lost art in college basketball.
Sides will get called for her third foul. Trying to track down Genovia Johnson. Johnson headed back to the free throw line. So look at Greer. Got the great steal, but then her point guard was trying to get the ball back, but instead Greer whipped the ball right to a defender.
That's the speed of the Southern team, and that it's going to continue to come at you in waves. Because they've got depth, they can kind of triage and bring in different players at all different positions. You've got to be ready. You got to get back on defense. You got to be able to stop the basketball, because when they get a full head of steam, they want to get downhill. That's the focus of their offense. And what will make them successful in the SWAC, because they know they've got depth. The players coming back from injury, finding their groove. You do that as a unit.
Sundell will replace Terrence Sides, who with 3 fouls will have to depart. With a short conversation for Sides as she comes out. Sundell dribbles away from the double team, finds a wide open Walker, buries the three.
Didn't step inside the three-point line that time. Instead, feet set on the skip pass. It's smooth, and she's ready to shoot.
Walker at 40% from behind the three-point line. Answer bucket from Southern. There have been few and far between. They do get one from Lidge. Double team on Walker, and she is fouled. Here on the near side, right in front of us.
And a bit of a miscue right there by the freshman is that you don't want to come across that half-court line and then pick that dribble up. She saw it coming. It was right here kind of on our angle. I could see the double team coming. What you got to do is keep it alive, and you got to get yourself out of that. You either got to spin, I got to back dribble, I got to try to beat it on the sideline. Either way, don't pick it up. She gets bailed out by the call there by the official.
Walker had an look at a three there. Passing on it here early in the shot clock. Sanchez doubled. Harris got into some trouble, turned it over. Southern back the other way. To talk more about Diana Walker, Sophie Smith has more.
Thanks, Brian. What Jeff Mitty really loves about Walker is how consistent she is and what a competitor that she can be on the court. She didn't play a whole lot last year because of that medically red shirt, but Jeff Mitty said that she is shooting the three very solid this early in the year, and getting her more experience has been very beneficial for her and this Wildcats team.
Yeah, the three-pointer, you pointed out, that was a perhaps more of a surprise. I don't think they counted on that necessarily. They weren't saying, hey, let's bring her in, we got a three-point weapon here, but the confidence and the competitiveness of Walker, she has, since on a team that puts up high volume of practice shots, Walker has been one of the leaders for K-State as most shots put up in practice on her own of anybody that they have on the roster.
Yeah, I think it's been an added bonus, because you know what you're going to get. You're going to get someone who has turned herself into a very good defender, finding minutes on the floor because they've got to have her as a defender, but also that mid-range jumper, which we talked about a little bit ago. I think the three's an added bonus. It gives her another weapon, and then it forces teams to have to honor that. That's the other piece of what this K-State offense has been able to reap the benefit of here through the first 12 games, is that you got to honor the three, even though you got the post weapon inside. And that makes very difficult decisions for people on how they want to defend.
K-State hit 10 threes in the game against Oral Roberts, and they've hit 43% of their threes in this game. So three-point shooting woes that were evident early for K-State have started to turn back around and kind of went to maybe the last three quarters of the Missouri game, or maybe the second half of the Missouri game. Since that point, they have really walked in from behind the arc.
I think it comes from a couple of the things that we have heard this K-State coaching staff mention, and that is their ball movement and their patience and their ability to go from a good shot to a great shot and move to the next pass. Don't settle for a guarded three when there's an open player in the corner who's got a wide open look, or on the skip pass, late rotation, that's a good shot within the framework of what they want to do. So give credit, I think they're understanding where they need to be in the team concepts of this K-State offense.
Castro has returned with her 4 fouls. And a 3-pointer poured in by Gordine.
A great step back look, kind of off a handoff by Castro up top.
Zig when someone zagged. Turnover by K-State.
The make gives Southern the ability to set their defense a little bit better. That's one thing, when you can't get a lot of shots to go in, you're only averaging about 53 plus points a game. You don't have a chance to really get that pressure set. So a good make on the other end gives Southern the ability then to cause and disrupt at K-State with an unforced turnover.
Wildcats have led by as many as 42. Castro. Double, the ball knocked out. 4/10 of a second left. Tough to get a lob with Lee standing there in the middle. We'll see what Southern can dial up. Oh, they do get a wonderful look, and Castro lays it in.
Great execution, just kept moving without the basketball. All the defense sucked over. She's going to knock it in, gets it off before the buzzer. And a good momentum boost right there for Southern after 3.
Don't take a look at it. We'll see it when we get back.
Live.
Regaining. Jayhawks in command there. Iowa State trying to put off Northern Iowa, another in-state rivalry game. TCU's got 19 and 14 from Sedona Prince, 27 today from Hannah Gusters of Oklahoma State, and they beat Utah Tech, who was the talk of college basketball yesterday after 21 threes in an upset of Oregon. Ayoka Lee's going to take a 3.
And we thought we had seen that.
Unbelievable. Well, the crowd was calling for it earlier because she was open. She took it, and the place goes bonkers. Answer 3-pointer from Gordine. 20 points for Ayoka Lee. Lester at the table, so Lee likely coming out on the next whistle. Len. She pours in another 3-pointer.
This is patience that you've seen. Now I want to caution everybody out there watching. Don't think that what you're going to see now once K-State gets into Big 12 play is Ayoka Lee as that trailer 3-point shooter. I don't think this is necessarily what you will see. Kind of a one-hit wonder here before the holiday break. But Ayoka Lee just steps in and gets caught on a bit of a screen. A little bit of confidence and a friendly shooter role in your home gym. Couldn't ask for a better story.
No doubt. What a great smile that brought to everyone's face heading into the holiday break. The big jumper put in by Williams. The beauty of that last replay that we just saw was watching the bench as the ball bounced around the rim and eventually fell in. Everybody went nuts. Another one for Jalen Clay. Get the friendly roll here. It's out of bounds to K-State as Gregory put the pressure on. Well, the Wildcats hitting 60% of their shots in this game today, 30 of 50. Southern, a team that came in, they've only allowed one team to shoot over 50% all year long. That was Baylor, way back in early November.
That's just because of the relentless pressure and the activity that they get with their defense. And as they're out contesting shooters, putting pressure on people, not allowing them open lanes to the rim. But K-State's taking advantage tonight, and they've stepped up to knock down some shots, get good ball movement. Sometimes they just made it very simple. You don't try to make it too difficult. That's where this K-State team has their success.
Well, Gabby Gregory is aggressive on her rim runs. Got undercut here and took a nasty spill, but looks to be all right.
Hard right and some help side coming. But when you leave your feet, that's one of the toughest places that's going to happen, is that you're going to take a tough tumble to the floor. It's not the first one Gabby Gregory has had. Took a shot to the mouth in that first quarter. But back at the free throw line, 8 points, 3 boards. Confidence continuing to grow in, I think, coming into herself a little bit more. The toughest thing from a year ago, almost averaged close to 20 points a game because she had to be the center of this Wildcat offense. Not necessarily what has to happen this year. However, I think as the Wildcats head into conference play, it goes back to our message of balance, and that they're going to have multiple scores and multiple people step up and hit double figures night after night, because that's how you're going to have success in the Big 12. If you just rely on one person, it's going to make it really difficult for you to get over the hump with some of these tough teams.
Veteran Gregory, a super senior, has talked about that. She has mentioned she's never played with a team that has this much balance, and then, of course, a superstar like Lee.
And one of the reasons why she wanted to come back, could have hung it up after last season, after such a great first team all-conference season that she had in her transfer to Kansas State, but decided to come back, wanted an opportunity to play with Ayoka Lee, and you can see why, because they can be a great tandem. And she does so many intangibles on the floor that build that confidence, and there's a reason why Jeff Biddy and his staff have a hard time finding a reason to take her out, because of the other things she doesn't have to be just scoring.
Fleming on the handoff. Sticks it into Johnson, trying to pin and go inside. Got over Lester and able to score.
And aggressive right there, but good execution by Southern. You see it. They know what the play is, they know what the set is, and they're going to get it and look for the open player.
Johnson, double figures for the first time this season. Just her second game. A tie up between Glenn and Fleming. Arrow to Southern as they'll keep the basketball. Johnson last year had, in the last couple of years, a super senior now out of Fort Lauderdale, she has had nearly 50 double-figure games in her career. They really missed having her back. Last year, 11.5 points, 5 rebounds a game. Great defense by Glenn, forcing the turnover on Williams in case they don't get the ball back.
But you can see the spurts, and we have seen it from Southern here tonight. Their ability to be able to put together possessions where they get great execution, but they just can't get the bucket to go, or you get a turnover, or you get a stop and a one and done defensively on the boards and just can't get it to fall. But with Johnson back in the lineup, giving them more of that offensive boost and another weapon, some of these sets and their ability to get out in transition becomes a huge weapon as they enter SWAC play.
A real true point guard on the floor other than Sundell. K-State's offense bogs down a little bit, with her not touching the ball on this offensive set. State turns the ball over. Lester fouls coming around the shoulder of Castro.
Learning curve, that's where the redshirt freshman is that you got to move your feet and that you can't reach. Castro's been active and she's got experience, so she's going to make you earn that position and not give it up so easily.
Bobcats will take out some of their other starters. Sundell done for the day. Jalen Glenn, you would think, done for the day. Liza Moffitt is in. The Bobcats 12 deep at the moment. A couple of red shirts for them due to injury, and then Dollinger out injured at the moment. Three-pointer reported by Fontenot, her first points. A little full court pressure here. Here, Riley Glenn alerting Terrence Sides of the double team, but then Sanchez steps out of bounds on the baseline drive.
With that possession happens because of Southern's defense, Brian, because they get a make on the other end, is that you're allowed and it gives them a chance to set their defense. They just haven't had that many opportunities tonight to be able to do that with only 14 made shots on the entire game so far. You don't have a chance to get that pressure set. But when you do a little jump and run and kind of getting them disorganized, K-State turns it over and going the other way.
Fontenot. Got it. Back-to-back buckets for Fontenot.
Carlos Funches was looked as though Fontenot got hit on the arm there, gets the roll, and could have had an and one opportunity, but no whistle by the official.
Glenn in lane, passes up. Shot clock at 5. Sides draws the foul.
I think this is a great learning opportunity for Terrence Sides because of the physicality of what you see from Southern on every possession. And it can be relentless as a ball handler, and especially at only 5'6", where you don't necessarily have a lot of leverage against some of these bigger, stronger guards. She's learning that if you're going to go into traffic, you better keep that dribble alive and have a way to get out. You can't pick it up in a bad spot. And when you do, you got to be able to see and read the double teams.
The game is turned over to the youngsters. The freshmen running the show for K-State. Sides trying to lob one over to Sanchez. It falls to Walker. Great look to find Maupin. Some more of the game of Ziana Walker, who was a prolific scorer of the high school ranks here in Kansas. The number 15 overall recruit. Class of 2021. Illegal screen set up top by Kiana Morgan. Get it small the other way. Five minutes to go on this one. I'm sure the Wildcats will get to triple figures like they did the last game. The Southern team, again, the team does not allow a ton of points. Sanchez will let go of one. The most they've allowed this year is 85. That was against Baylor at the beginning of November.
K-State coming off that decisive win where they posted 102 against Oral Roberts. Probably not going to get there, but opportunity to finish strong the last 4:36.
Live sport.
Done it all season long, whether it's blocks on help side or being able to be in the right position to turn offense into defense. They have done it tonight against Southern. Active hands, contesting shooters, and a focus to stopping people one-on-one. The message has been get in a stance, be willing to help, and stop people. They have done that 28% on the night for Southern. They have made only 15 field goals here in Greenwich Coliseum.
If you just tuned in and you're wondering what's with the GOAT thing, it's been a long explanation all year long. The short version is K-State, if they get 3 stops successive in a row, it's called a gap. Jeff Benny wanted to get the team to focus on how do you make this gap thing a point of emphasis. You get 7 gaps in the game, you win 90% of the time. The team decided to put a GOAT, gap GOAT, as kind of the mascot. It gets thrown up on the bench when they get a gap or a stop defensively, and the chains get put on when they get their 7th in a game. Southern on a broken play, able to get a baseline jumper.
A little bit too late here in this game, and yet Southern seems to maybe found a bit of a rhythm offensively. They've made 4 of their last 4 field goals with good patience and movement. Not relying on tough shots, but taking what this K-State defense has been able to give them late.
It has improved their shooting percentage to 30%. Being down in the 20s most of the games. Drive by Harris. Now Maupin with a second offensive rebound on this possession. Maupin is one that K-State really hoped with the Christmas break, holiday break, would be one to maybe get her back in rhythm a little bit. Different role for her this year. Has struggled to find her footing. 9 points for Walker as she gets the jumper, but Maupin, someone that showed incredible promise a year ago.
Very raw.
Yeah, very
raw, very green. Really didn't have a ton of experience, didn't play in the AAU circuit world. Learning to understand the physicality and the speed of what Power 5 basketball is all about. I think that there's some tools there that Kansas State knows that they can use and that can be a weapon for them, especially with her ability to jump and be a rebounder. But ultimately, when you have a player player like Ioka Lee that has come back into your lineup, then you got to find your role, and that role is to be able to come in, give breathers, be able to defend, rebound, and not foul, score when asked to.
Two and a half minutes to go. Fleming unable to finish. Southern has outscored K-State by 5 in this quarter. Trying to finish strong. Sides hits the left elbow jumper. She's got double figures.
Didn't use the ball screen, but instead decided to go back to the middle of the floor, kind of trying to read the defense. Would have been a tough move to use that screen and go left. But I think Terrence Sides making some decisions with the basketball, Brian, is we kind of feel like it might be a little bit of a jinx that she's one of the tops in the nation in assist to turnovers, but yet has had a number of them here tonight. And had a couple against Oral Roberts, kind of seeing that number go down, but that's going to be the ebb and flow of any young guard. Is that you got to, tonight is different. What she saw against Oral Roberts defensively and where she tried to make things happen, completely different than what they're seeing tonight against Southern. And you've got to be prepared for what it's going to look like when you get into Big 12 play.
Just to put it in perspective about how good Sides have been assist to turnovers. Harris has her pocket picked by Kiana Morgan. Among the leaders in the nation right now, assist to turnover, the people in the top 10 are sitting right around 3 assist to turnover ratio. Sides have been at 6. There were only 2 in that rarefied air, her and Rory Harmon. Harmon has stayed there. Sides at about 5.2 coming into today's game. And still, it's like, you know, you're going from batting 450 down to 400 in baseball. She's still way above the curve here early on.
And a lot of it's situational. And as we've said, you just have to be able to handle what the defense is coming at you. Or as I'm a point guard running the show out front, don't try to force things, that we make that easy pass, or to be able to see a double team and where the run and jump is coming from. That isn't necessarily something you see every day on the AAU circuit or in high school basketball at a small school in Kansas. So this is all new, and these are the environments and the things you got to learn from. Great opportunities. And I think that this defensive effort by Southern tonight, the pressure and the relentless pressure they bring, is a great way to get your feet wet heading into Big 12 play.
A minute to go. Sanchez on a reverse. Terrence Sides may not get the double-double, but she's going to come very close. 10 points, 8 assists for the freshman. And the budding superstar. Three-pointer fired up by Obillo won't go. Rebound Gordine. She'll stick the putback. 12 points for Gordine. So Gordine and Johnson, both, again, who did not play almost the entirety of the non-conference schedule, got a brief glimpse against Nebraska, both in double figures today against K-State, a positive sign for Southern.
Yeah, big boost to see them back in the lineup and to get them some quality minutes here tonight. Those will continue to grow. Their contribution will only go up, and you can see why this will be a SWAC contender yet again. A team that wants to peak in March, looking to get back to the NCAA tournament.
Final 10 seconds. Gordine will let one go from length that will not fall off at the rebound, and that will do it. Kansas State finishes non-conference play with a 12-1 mark. They move to 7-0 at home. Jim Finney's team has won 6 straight. And now turn their attention to Big 12 play. Another big day for Ioka Lee. 20 points in her first career three-pointer. And next up, Holidays.